I'm an illustrator and student studying in Osaka, Japan, and I'm studying illustration while here. And I feel like since living here, I've been thinking about illustration a little bit differently. So, for example, just walking around on the street here, you will see a lot more cute designs and a lot more kind of characters. So, for example, on vending machines, one of the most common ones I see is chotto shiawase. I see that all the time. But there's also other cute vending machines that have little characters on it, and sometimes there's Pokemon vending machines as well. As well as this, there's like logos for restaurants and even dry cleaning have sort of cute little characters or logos that are soft and sort of what we would consider maybe in the US geared towards children. And lastly, even like public service type signs, sort of like about the police or about not riding your bike or things like that, might have kind of cute, what we would consider anime or manga inspired, but they're just the common illustration style here, kind of characters illustrating the situation. So I feel like just seeing that and seeing the other applications of art, that you don't have to do, you know, super minimalistic logos for restaurants or super really cool, sleek logos for things. I feel like that tends to be more of the look, at least in my experience studying in the United States. So we had an assignment that was sort of a struggle for me, which was to make our own cute mini character. So when you make the kind of like small version of, like, oftentimes it's like you have the animated normal character and then you have their little tiny version. But we were just supposed to make a cute character kind of like Hello Kitty or, like I mentioned, the other ones. And mine were creepy. I can show you. I have some of my attempts. I just decided to go with cats because I'm the most comfortable drawing cats, and this was a struggle for me. So you can see they're not super cute, you know. They're kind of, I feel like, more editorial looking maybe. I mean, I think this kind of is interesting. I still like it, honestly. So I was going with like country cats. So this is a French cat and this is an Englishman cat. This is, I think, was supposed to be a German cat. He has beer. But they were kind of weird, and I couldn't figure out how to make them more cute and how to make them more kind of like proportional. Like if you look at many characters in Japan, they still have like a not all of them, but a lot of them have a three-dimensional quality to them where they're still moving, whereas mine are very flat and much more like graphic design, I think. And I even have like a Korean one here. The Japanese one's really bad, but yeah, so they just didn't come out cute at all. And I, you know, tried taking a picture of them and then editing them on on Procreate on my iPad, but they were still really arguably not cute. So I asked the teacher for some help. So then we had this. We came out with this at the end. This is my French cat with his little cup and baguette. Here's another one with his little coffee cup and baguette. And I have my Englishman cat, who I don't think is quite as cute. I think maybe we could change him a little bit in some way. I kind of wanted to make him sad. But I think my favorite one, honestly, that came out was maybe my German cat. I think he just is the best proportional, maybe, and I think the colors came out really well on the German cat. I do like this one too, but I think some of the texture is a little too much. Maybe it should be a little softer. So I do think it was a big jump in cuteness level from my original version to this version. And I do think at the same time, though, some of whatever my own personality is probably lost a little bit. I would like to figure out a way where I can make cute characters, but that still retain some of my personality. I think what did retain was, to me, is my attempt at humor, which is the German cat has beer and sausage. So I did go pretty stereotypical intentionally with my country cats, but then when I thought of like doing other countries, like I thought about doing like Mexico, then it was like, oh, that's gonna come off really offensive. So I don't know, I hope these are not offensive to anybody. And so I'm sure there is a respectful way that you could do other countries. It's just, I went straight for stereotypes, you know, baguette, coffee, beret. And so I don't know if that would really translate well to other countries. So That's just something that I've thought about, and so I've thought about changing. Maybe I will keep these characters in the future in spirits, but instead of country cats, I might change them to career cats, I'm thinking, and making them like little doctors or lawyers and stuff, although that could also be stereotypical. So another assignment that we had was we had to design basically something for a poster, like a poster illustration for a product from a convenience store. So I chose strawberry milk from Lawson. Lawson has their own, like, it's called Uchi Cafe line of like coffee and beverages and sweets. And so they have a lot. And I just liked the packaging, frankly, and I like strawberries, drawing fruit, and I thought it would be cute. So if you look at like my drawings, I was going for very pretty. I think I was going for very decorative and pretty. If you look at like my early sketches for my ideas for this, was like, you know, like a hand holding like, you know, something where then the strawberries are growing out of it, and then one of them's a cup, you know, or like a little like strawberry coming out. You know, I was going for very ornate, generally speaking, or very kind of just strawberry milk, like very literal, or like I said, more ornate. And so we had to do 2 illustrations, and I went with one of my more ornate designs, but then my teacher was really trying to push me towards doing something cute. But it took me a while to understand that was sort of what she was aiming for. She said to draw sort of like a fairy, yosei, you know, with the strawberries. So when I thought yosei, I think like fairy with like wings. So I drew sketches with fairies with wings, you know, like young woman with wings. And let me find those sketches. Here we go. Here's one. I mean, I thought they were cute, but like they're definitely not what she meant, apparently. So I drew like a fairy with wings, and she's like, you know, I guess there's a strawberry and it's raining milk. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking there. It's been a while. Like strawberry fairy lady, bringing you strawberry milk deliciousness. But when I showed them, she said, no, not like that kind of fairy. Like she's like more like a cute round like girl, like a child with the strawberry, like holding the strawberry or with the strawberry. So I was getting a little frustrated because I felt like she was really pushing me in a specific direction that I didn't really understand. But then I started to try to sketch according to that. So I drew this kind of really rough sketch of like a girl character with strawberries holding them. They're all kind of similar, frankly. So there's 2 other ones, this one, and then one with the strawberry a little bit smaller, one with the strawberry really huge. And ultimately, I really liked this sketch. I thought that was cute. And but it's definitely not something that I would have thought of for something like strawberry milk that's not geared towards children. If you look at the packaging for this milk, it's not a product that is geared towards kids. It's not like a little carton that's really cute. It's more, I would say, target audience would be young women probably, than children. So to me, having like a little kid holding a strawberry is very cute, and that's not something that I would have thought of doing with a product. I would have tried to go more cool or pretty than cute. So like I said, this is a poster, but this is the finished illustration that I did based on the sketch that I just showed you. And I am really happy with it, frankly. I was really kind of annoyed that she kept kind of redirecting me, but this is one of my favorite things that I made this year. And I think the character has legs, potentially, and I could maybe make a series of her. I'm thinking of maybe drawing her with a little lamb, or I could just keep her with strawberries. I don't know. She could just be a strawberry girl. But I am thinking of sort of making her a separate character for a portfolio idea. So I'll also show the poster. I don't have a printout, or it's not on my iPad, but I'll show you the poster finished here. So I had to put, you know, the title and some description and the logos for it. But just the standalone illustration I was really happy with. So those 2 things have definitely pushed me to make my art way cuter, but I'm still not coming to it very naturally. So I took an additional portfolio class that after school, our second semester finished, but there was an additional portfolio like workshop we could do. and I chose basically trying to make stationery, like a notebook, and making cute characters. But even in my attempt to try to make a cute character notebook that would be more geared towards maybe like elementary students, still came out, according to my teacher, more geared towards like teenager or young adults instead of kids. So I don't seem to really know how to make things very cute in a way that's like maybe has personality. I think that's sort of why we gravitate towards some of these characters, is they're not just pretty or ornate, there's sort of a softness and a likability to them. So I'll show you what I made. So this is supposed to be the cover of a notebook, and we had to make characters and give it a name. So my name for my characters are Forest Friends, you know, not super unique, but it's in English, and in Japan, English is a little bit more unique. Just vice versa, I feel like. So I'm really happy with it. I think it's very pretty, but I can understand that they're definitely much more like flat elements, not really like cute little like friends. So I did try to think of other ways. Like I thought, like for a memo pad, I made a memo pad design like with the fox, and I think having it less flat like this is a little bit cuter, but it definitely doesn't have the same like quality maybe that Hello Kitty or Chikawa or something like that has. This one I haven't finished it yet. I haven't figured out how to make it go with the other ones, but I have like a bunny that I want to do for the memo pad as well. And I started the sketch for the back of the notebook. So for the back of the notebook, I'm going to zoom in first. I kind of want to show the elements more, as instead of flat, maybe showing them more like hanging out together, so that maybe that would make them a little bit more cute, you know, because they would be like friends and they can maybe be interacting more. But I feel like I've been really struggling with this idea of cute, because I thought I was good at cute things, and that it was actually a bit of a problem, because I feel like a lot of my pattern designs that I make for like wallpaper, I do have some pattern designs on a wallpaper company right now called Muse Wall Studio. I'll put a link in there. But I feel like if you look at my wallpaper designs, they kind of gear towards more children, and that's not really what I'm going for, but they just come out that way because I feel like the way I make patterns, I kind of give them little faces on my animals, or I make things kind of really light. And in a US market, that tends to make it more towards a kid's room, or more colorful is going to go towards a kid's room, whereas more geometric and neutral will go towards more adult. But then here in Japan, when I make something like, you know, that notebook cover, to me, like this could be something like Land of Nod, which is Crate and Barrel's kid line. To me, that really looks like very much towards kids, but in Japan, it's kind of looked at as a little bit more maybe sophisticated and not towards children. So I've been really kind of getting a little frustrated recently, because I don't feel like my art belongs anywhere. Like I can't really gear my art towards a Western market, and I can't gear my art towards a Japanese market, and it just sort of feels like I don't belong anywhere. So my next goal is to really lean into the cute, because I do genuinely like it. I'm going to look at some of my old sketches, like really old, from when I went to Art Center College of Design. I remember I did do some cute work for one of my classes where the teacher was much more open-minded. Her name is Dana Duncan, and she was like the Adobe Illustrator like teacher, and I think she was probably one of the only teachers that would have really let us make really super cute stuff. And I'm gonna look at some of those old designs that I didn't finish and see if I can maybe pluck some of those old ideas from me. And I want to make a stationery portfolio with cute characters to gear towards companies, because hiring season is already starting in Japan for next year, which I didn't realize it worked that way. So I'm going to be really putting the pedal to the metal to make a cute character stationery set by next month, because they are coming to our school. One of these companies is coming to our school, and I signed up for them to look at my portfolio. So if you are curious about seeing some of my process about like making that portfolio, I would happily make a video about that. I can introduce the name of the company is Cameo Japan. If you're curious, they have some cute characters of their own, and they're not super huge like Sanrio or something, but they're based in Osaka. And I really feel like they seem like a cool company to work for, like a cool office culture. And I wanna try. And let me know if you think my art has gotten cuter, or if it's cute, or if it looks more adult, or if it looks more children. I'm just sort of curious what other people think. And if you happen to be somebody who practices, art yourself, do you think about style and really sticking to your own style? Or are you open to sort of incorporating things from other people or incorporating points of view? Do you view it sort of like a practice that you can evolve with other people's opinions? Or do you really try to stick very, very, very closely to your own point of view? Because I feel like there's a balance, and I've been struggling with it myself. I think it's okay to have your own art and maybe art that's like people edit, but those things you can't totally keep them separate either. So I do think there is something to be said for like trying to hold true to yourself, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. So thanks so much for watching. Zook, do you have anything to say?